Hey everyone, welcome back to your weekly dose of Minecraft. And I've been thinking a lot, well not, okay, I've been thinking some recently about how my experience playing Minecraft and my gameplay style, how my Minecraft playstyle has kind of come full circle within the last, I guess, year and a half of playing and doing YouTube. And I thought it was just kind of interesting, so I think I'd like to talk about that a little bit today. And while we're doing that, what I'm doing is, at the same time as we're recording this, I'm also starting to work on the next episode of the main series. So if you're new here, we have this weekly series where we just play kind of like an old school let's play and talk about some things. And at the same time, I have more, I guess, structured cinematic let's play videos that come out a bit less frequently, but that are more edited and that show like more progress, I guess, and that are more themed, which is like what this book is for example. So right now in the main series, we're working on lore, and I just started filming, and what we're doing is we're going to call our place Zordo's Refuge, or Twin Peak Refuge as an alternate title for the place. And I don't have like very concrete lore just yet. I'm still really working on it, and it's probably going to be something that I'm going to work out as time goes on. But refuge, you know, kind of feels like you want the place to feel safe and as if you'd go there to take refuge from something. So basically what we're doing is we're kind of just like we're cleaning up the land around the house to have better lines of sight. So that's how we have like a little bit of land here that is clearly has been just like ground down to the stone level. So we're going to start cleaning that up. I actually think the height that's at now, we're probably going to bring this down one more Y level today and then try to join it up with this little island here to make it a bit nicer. And pardon the cutting, my throat is not getting cleared. So we're doing that to clear up the sight lines, and I'd like to like have a big circle of trees, kind of like as if our refuge here was hidden in like a forest. So I want to have like a big old circle of trees, a big ring of trees, I think along the edge of where the fog starts coming into effect here. I'm just not sure. Like, let's say if we look at this, we have the house, so the water goes here, curves this way. It might be actually out of range of the maps, in which case we will probably... See, I'm pretty sure the trees that we saw are like all just along here. We're probably gonna have to like do a little test later to make sure. Though that is like a massive bit of land for a refuge. But I'll try not to stress myself out with having to fill it out necessarily. I just think the sight line would be cool. You could also bring it in closer and have trees coming along maybe here and close up the area a bit more and have it be more tight. But I think I'm going to stick with our original plan, and even if it takes years to fill stuff out from here to where the tree line is, I do think it would be cool. But first, let's start working on that hill. So when I started playing Minecraft, it was actually split screen with my fiance, and we both didn't really know how to play. She knew more about the game than I did, but like except for the basics, she didn't have really any knowledge or clue as of what we were supposed to do to actually progress in the game. So that was really fun because we were both like discovering it, and I like got into it really quick. I had tried it once or twice before with my younger cousins, but they hopped in straight to creative mode and they're very hyped. They're a bit younger than I am. So I kind of didn't get into it that time, and you know, that was when I was a teenager, and I kind of like brushed the game off as like a baby's game or a little child's game. I was like, nah, this ain't Call of Duty. This isn't Uncharted 3. But when I started playing with my wife, it was, well, my wife, yeah, my fiance. I got into it like nearly instantly. And it was really fun because we just like had our like starting area and we built up our little house and I like dug a trench around it so as to protect it. It was like a 1 block deep trench, who actually in effect did nothing. Had a little pupper, and we had Didn't use any furnaces, I just used campfires, and I remember being super confused because I thought slabs were flooring blocks because they're like half a block. So my brain just interpreted that as this is what the floor is for. So I was really confused when I changed out the whole flooring in our little house for slabs, and then everything that I tried to place on it was just floating. It was a good time. And then we tried exploring a bit, got lost, died, and then we decided we're going to build another house somewhere else that's going to be even better. So we moved over, like, literally, our first house was, let's say our first house was here. We moved there. So started rebuilding the house as like a collaborative thing, and next to the house I started building I built like a little fountain thing that was, looking back at it, super ugly, but I was so proud. I was like, oh, this is so cool. We built our house and had a little farm. We had like a little wheat farm that was fenced out, and I looked at it the other day, and that wheat farm had 6 wheat, 6 spots of wheat to grow. So we did that, and then by that time, my fiance started losing interest in actually playing, so we started slowing down on the playing, but she wanted to show me the nether, because she remembered when she played last time with her, I think her cousins, she had remembered, oh, frickin' 1DT. I should probably try to get some sea pickles from this guy. Yeah, she wanted to show me the nether, but she had no real... Get out of here. So as I was saying, she wanted to show me the nether, but she didn't really know how to actually get there and proceed with that. So she looked it up online, and I think looking back on it, the way she described it, I think she found like the speedrunning way. Which was too complicated for us then. So what she ended up doing is just like turning on creative mode and then spawning in the blocks and making another portal. But by that time, because we had gone like mining and stuff and kept on dying and losing because we didn't really know what to do. So by that time, she had already turned on peaceful mode as well. So when we got there, we realized there's not much going on here, is there? But anyways, by that time, I was pretty much hooked and wanted to keep playing all the time. We're gonna run out of space for our dirt chest. We're gonna probably move some over there later because we're gonna need it for some terraforming. So somewhere along that line, then she stopped playing for a while, and we've since started up a few other worlds together and play every now and again, but it's just not her type of game, I guess. Which is fine. We play a bunch of other things together. It's actually a cool balance because what we do a lot now is when I'm playing alone or I'm playing this and working on the channel as a hobby, and she supports it fully, which is awesome. And when we play together, usually we're either playing Call of Duty, and we didn't want to buy it twice because our PC isn't strong enough to handle Black Ops 7. So we bought like we bought it used, and we just like share the controller. It's fun. We play like a bunch of Resident Evils, which is like story-based games more, like The Last of Us and the Ghost of Tsushima and Yote. So we play a lot of those games together. We used to play a lot of Rocket League. And when I'm alone, I play this. So by the time we stopped playing in that world, what I did is I started up another world, and this is all on PlayStation 5, by the way, for where we are in the story. I started up my own world, which I called Foreverland, and spent a bunch of time playing that. And the way I played in that world was essentially, I'm pretty sure I explored quite a while to find like the perfect bit of land, and eventually I found like this bit of terrain that was really, really cool. It like was next to a little bit, kind of like a lake, and the terrain had this like natural bridge that was already formed, and underneath it was like a cave that you could look into, and it was really cool. So I built a little starter house up on there, like a little, I think it was like a 5x3 house, maybe, or no, maybe not 5x3. I think a 7x5 house, and that's where I lived. And pretty much the way I played then was consistently just hopping in and then just like playing for hours, just like building out the house as if I was gonna live there. I didn't progress the game really at all. My highest priorities were getting sugarcane because it looked cool, and building out the little farmland, getting more animals, making my house look like a house, like all like I guess lore driven, and kind of making it into a place where I feel like I could have lived there, if that makes sense. I went mining just to get iron, just to say I got enough iron to do like to get tools and stuff, but I didn't go to the nether. I didn't try to find any structures. I didn't try to finish the game or anything. It was constantly just like getting an idea and building something out, getting an idea, building something out. Wouldn't it be cool if that island had all my sugarcane? Yes, it would be cool. Let's put all the sugarcane there and call it Sugarcane Island. Oh, I'm kind of tired of swimming to the island. Let's make a bridge. Like, okay, what is my base lacking? My base is lacking cherry wood. Then I go explore to find cherry wood. And it was cool because what I'd do is like I was like really immersed when doing that. I'd go exploring on my little boat, and so as to not get lost, I would stop part of the ways and like build up a little structure as like a little landmark. And looking back, that's like really cool. Because now, even if I go back to that world, like I don't know it like the back of my hand. I actually didn't get very far, all things considered, but I can find my way to and from those places that I marked down with landmarks because there are landmarks. So anyway, fast forward a little bit of time, and sorry, I had a little work emergency to take care of. What was I saying? Yeah, okay, so yeah, I found I could probably still find my way around because of the landmarks. Now, fast forward some time, while I was playing in that world is when I also got into watching Minecraft YouTube content a lot, and my guy was It's Marlow. I watched him. I watched like all of his Techtopia series. I watched both of his survival series, his most recent ones, and I'm up to date on his most recent one all the way through. And a lot of those videos I watched multiple times. I was just really, really into it. And then from there, I kind of like did branch off and started watching some other people like Grian and Mumbo Jumbo and B-dubs. Like nowadays, I watch a lot of B-dubs when it comes out, a lot of Ethos Lab. I still make sure to be there every Saturday morning when It's Marlow posts his videos and watch his, because he's my guy. Watch some Gemini Tay, some Impulses V, some Skizzleman, a lot of the Hermit Crafters. More recently, I've been watching Slip and the other Forever Craft members like Cobb and Play-Doh Storm. I haven't taken the time to watch the other members, so sorry about that. I stay up too late watching a bunch of that, and then working during the day, and then playing Minecraft at night in my little world. And then I told this story in another episode, so I'll just gloss over it quickly, but at some point at work, we had something happen where my schedule had to change because basically a lot of the students had to quit, which made it so that what I was doing was no longer viable for the students and for myself, so we had to basically cancel some of the classes. And that same night when that decision was taken, I came home, my fiance was working at her job, and I downloaded OBS and I started making my first YouTube video. It's raining and it's nighttime, so we're gonna go and drop off some of our stuff. So when I started doing that, you know, besides learning YouTube and everything, at that point I had watched a lot more Minecraft content, so I started like learning more stuff about the game and learning about like, well, seeing people play with Elytra and stuff, which was like, what? You can fly in this game? No one told me that. So at that point I got more interested in playing the game and progressing it and beating it. So when I started that first world, I'd have to look back, but I think it took me maybe 5 episodes till I decided to beat the game, and I grinded the heck out of it to beat it. So when I got into that world, I started playing kind of in the way that I already did play, but I had in the back of my mind that I was making this for YouTube, so it changed the way I paced my playing and stuff. everything I did was kind of with that optic in mind. So I did, like, after the first episodes, really hurry to actually finish the game and get Elytra and stuff so I could start doing bigger projects and moving around. And like I mentioned, we're taking our time in this world. We are at day 281. I'm working on I'm working on the base, and I don't have really any diamond tools except for one pickaxe and a few extra diamonds. That's about it. And I do want to actually progress it, I think, relatively soon, because I am starting to miss flying around and using the elytra and stuff and shulker boxes, but I do enjoy how we're playing right now. But like, by the time that I started doing that, the fact that I was making it for YouTube, even if I didn't get many views, and I still don't sometimes, influenced the way I was playing. So slowly but surely, I started like planning out my play sessions for the next however many days or weeks that it would take, and it was very project based. So I think, okay, we have an episode to make. Next episode, what project are we going to work on? Okay, let's say it was a tower, right? We're going to make a tower next episode. So then, like, everything would have to revolve around that tower. Where am I going to put these extra chests? I'm going to put them over... We're going to need a storage room soon. Let's put them here. So everything was becoming project-based, so I think, okay, if we have to make a tower, then I'm going to have to make the episode around that tower and make sure that by the time the episode is done, that tower is done. So what does that entail? So first, we have to go into creative and design the tower. Cool. Do that. Go into creative, design the tower. Good. Now the tower has been designed. Alright, so this is going to be a bit of a weird cut. The game crashed and brought me back a few minutes. So yeah, that's why you might get a sense of deja vu if you're watching, if you're looking at the screen. The heck was I saying? I keep on getting distracted by things happening. Yeah, so everything was very project based. So if I was to build a tower, then that would entail, at least in my mind, having to go into creative and designing the build beforehand, and having to try to make that at least as good as possible and as impressive as possible and as thumbnail worthy as possible. And keep in mind that during this time I was still working and I had other responsibilities, so it's like if I had to design a build, that could in real life easily take like a week's worth of time and stuff. And I like playing the game. I like playing creative, but if Minecraft were only creative mode, I wouldn't play it as much as I do. It just doesn't keep my interest as much. The chest is still there? Did I just duplicate dirt? What the heck? I is confused. Okay. So yeah, there you go. We designed the build and everything, and then once that is done, you can go ahead and proceed with getting the materials for it, and then at the same time filming the episode with that kind of framing in mind. That would kind of dictate the order, not the order, how to say, the pacing of the video, and how it was composed. And it did create a kind of formula that was actually, I do think, makes for an interesting video because it like progresses well. You have the plan, the build, you get the materials, you get the build, you do the details. See you next week, right? But doing that, I found myself starting to like get bored with going through the motions, I suppose, and having the formula, because like you have some of the exciting part that would come into effect when designing it, but then like I do like the end result of all my late Matica builds, and I do sometimes I did like enjoy copying them down, like actually filling out the schematic. But I did feel myself like getting numb kind of, and just like zoning out and not having the best of times, which is partially why we ended up restarting this world and staying away from all of that. And everything had to be fast, so I was always like running around and trying to have to get stuff done, and it was always like big projects and stuff that would make sense to fit into an episode. Whereas now, like in this world, I am still doing YouTube, and of course I do always have that kind of thought in the back of my mind that I want to make at least the main episodes have sense as main episodes. Because I do want it to be worth someone's time if they're going to sit through and actually watch the whole thing, and I don't want to be boring. But I've kind of like transitioned back into the way that I used to play, where at the start of most episodes, I sometimes do have a little plan of what I want to do, but compared to before, where I'd have like a build already designed and know what materials to get, I don't really ever know what the end result of my episodes are, and I don't have any pre-planned builds in mind. I have like ideas, of course, that like are brewing up in the brain, but it's really more iterative and like discovering it as you go. You'll do something, you get an idea, you do the idea, and that's like the cycle. And that really resembles the way I started playing Minecraft, and I think the way most people do play Minecraft. And it's been a lot of fun and a lot more addicting and addictive lately. So yeah, I guess food for thought. Maybe if you are feeling a bit fatigued with Minecraft and you do find yourself like leaning into that more YouTube oriented style of play, especially if you are a YouTuber, maybe think if that is what is causing that, and maybe try going back to playing the way you used to play, or just like maybe an in-between is probably the best. Like I do play, probably if I would see myself play back then and compared to how I play now, like I don't think I would have spent back then so much time terraforming, for example, right? But the way I'm approaching it mindset-wise is of the same spirit as I was back then, so that's why I'm kind of equivalating the two. I just thought it was interesting. Hopefully this was somewhat coherent. Thank you guys for joining me for today's talk, and if you do enjoy it, and if you enjoy my voice, maybe, and if you just enjoy my personality and stuff, then maybe go see the other videos on the channel and go watch the main series. So right now the main series is called Zordo's New Adventure. If you check out that playlist, you'll see my more edited, a little bit cinematic, more Let's Play style videos. Otherwise, I'll be back next week or maybe later this week with another one of these more talky kind of videos. And I'm also brewing up some new projects on my other channel called Chris Crafts Code, which is where I do my programming stuff. Right now there's only one video up on there, but I started filming for a new project yesterday, and I think I'm going to format it in a way very similar to what we're doing here, in the sense of instead of building up my whole project and then making a massive video at the end to demonstrate it, I'm still learning, so I'm like slow and figuring out things as I go. Well, I'm not slow, but I'm only 2 semesters into the degree, so a lot of it is just me doing projects to keep myself entertained and learn more things, and I want to be really good at it. I enjoy it very, very much. It's one of the only things, like excluding family and doing things with my fiance, programming and building software right now is one of the only things that excites me as much as Minecraft, to the point where sometimes I'm playing Minecraft and I just have to stop because I want to code too much, right? It's pretty cool. So yeah, I'm starting to build another app on there, so if when I do get the first episode of that out of like the devlogs, I'll let you guys know if by chance it does interest you. I'm going to be building my very own fitness app, kind of to motivate myself to get back in shape and track my fitness. So it's more like a fitness tracking app. So there we go. Our hill has been brought down. Now we just have to link it up, and I already think our view is getting a lot nicer. So once again, thank you all for joining and listening to me. I'll see y'all next time. See ya.